Welcome to When Life Gets Strange, tips for loving your perfectly imperfect military and everyday life. Let me introduce you to my wife and your host, Maria Strange. We have been married for over 20 years, over 17 years in the Army, and she is the mother to our 6 children, and we are members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. As a certified life coach, Maria's goal is to help you thrive and love your perfectly imperfect military and everyday life. Are you ready?
Hey guys, and welcome back to When Life Gets Strange. Today is episode 15, and we're going to be talking about making friends. But before we get started, I just wanted to let you know that I have puppies, brand new week-old puppies here in my office. And so you might hear them or hear the mom, our mama dog Maxie, coming in and out. So I just want you to be aware that we might be hearing some of that. You can probably hear the puppies now. They're kind of whiny, but in a couple of weeks, I'll show them to you when we're starting to handle them more. But right now, I'm just letting them be. They're eating and enjoying being puppies and doing what all babies do, sleeping and eating all the time. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. They're Labradoodles. And so we absolutely love them. And yeah, that's just a little bit what's going on with me. We've been taking care of puppies all week. And well, really the mom does it all, but watching them and admiring her and her hard work. Coming up in the fall, we're going to have a couple of classes on how to deal with deployments and helping your kids go back to school. So just be on the lookout for those classes. I'll probably do webinars really. So be looking for those and you can sign up for them, and it'd be great to get to connect and to get some of your questions. What kind of questions do you have about deployments or helping your kids go to school? So let me know. I would love to hear them. Now on to our topic of making friends. I'm in a lot of military Facebook groups and I see a lot of people PCSing right now. Obviously it's summertime and that's a big part of what we do. We move bases. For us, we haven't moved in a few years. And so we're looking at, like, a lot of our friends are moving this summer. One of my girls, a lot of her friends are moving and it's totally fine, but we're dealing with that. It's still, how do you make those new friends, right? Those connections and what not, because people do move and we move, and going to new places can seem really hard. So before we get into kind of talking more about that, I want to quickly just go over the life coaching model that Brooke Christille came up with that I use in helping my clients. I love this model and it has helped me so much. So what we think about matters. It's important. It's important to us. And because we think it's true, we believe it's true. Our thoughts cause our feelings, and then our feelings cause us to take actions. And then we create the results in our life, all based off of what we are thinking. Now, but I really want you guys to know our thoughts are not facts. So if you're not creating the friendships you want, if you're not building those new friendships you want, let's go back and look at your thoughts. And if you need help with that, that's what I'm here for. I'm really good at helping you find those thoughts that aren't serving you. Now, a couple of quotes about friendship, friends in general that I like. Brian Katie says, "You don't have to like me. That's my job." So we need to learn to like ourselves. That's going to be really important in making friendships. What other people think of you is none of your business. And how do we know this true? Because you're going to have people who you like and people who like you and people who don't. Some days you like your husband, some days you don't. So what others think of you, it's really none of your business because it changes and everybody thinks something different. So we know it's not really true. What it is it's saying something about them and really nothing about you. I like this saying my sister's told me once. She's like, it's really easy to love your husband. I always love him, but I especially like the days that I like him, that I want to be around him, that I'm thinking really great things about him because I always love him. But some days I really like him. Did you hear that? That was Maxie coming in to check on her babies. So just think about that. Some days we really like him, and it's all based on what we are thinking. Another thing to realize is our friendship is a thought. It is in what we think, it's not a fact. If you believe you're friends with somebody, you probably are. You are in your thoughts. And so you act like their friend. You show up in a way to be their friend. So, some steps that we have to help you make some friends is to, if you're having a hard time, rewrite your story. What are you telling yourself? I know that I've moved to a new base and I've gone to the gym or to an FRG meeting and I've had the thoughts, "Oh, nobody likes me here," or this is too hard. Do I want to become friends with these people? They're not very friendly. I have too much going on in my life to put effort into building a friendship. Can you see? Those are all my thoughts. Or even, people told me this unit isn't any good. And then I don't try. I don't show up. I'm not looking to be a friend. But what if I could rewrite that? What if I believed the perfect person is here for me? I'm at this duty station for a reason. What is it? There's somebody here who needs me. That's kind of one of my favorites. There's somebody here that needs me. I'm here for a reason. Who is that person that needs me? And how am I going to find that person if I'm believing these people are not friendly? So when I'm thinking, who here needs me? I'm curious. I want to go out. I want to meet people. I want to learn what their needs are. And it might just be, they just need me to show up and to be their friend. I know a few months back, I was really missing one of my friends that moved away. And she was just one of those friends who every time she came over, she just walked in. She just made herself at home, walked in, announced she was here, would eat whatever food she wanted, get into the fridge, whatever. And I loved it. I loved that level of friendship. And I was just really missing it. And my friend was over and her husband was coming over. And when he got here, he knocked and he just walked in and he's like, "I'm here." And I was like, "Oh, they're my people. These are my friends." And it was funny because it was just what I was needing. They didn't know that I was missing my friend who came over and would just walk in. But man, was he an answer to that for me that day. That, yeah, I still have those same level of friends. I still have friends that just come over and make themselves at home and feel at home here. But really, it said nothing about him and everything about my thoughts about it. I was thinking, oh, they're those kind of friends, and they are. So rewrite your story. Get curious, right? What do you want to get to know about them? Well, there's two men, and let's say Adam and Paul, and they meet at a function, or we can even use, so Adam and Paul, they meet. And Paul asks Adam all about himself. And as Adam tells him, "Yeah, I do this and that." And Paul's like, "Oh, that's so neat. Tell me more about this." And he asks more and more questions. And when their conversation was over, Adam goes, "Wow, that Paul, he was so amazing." But you know what? He hadn't really even learned anything about him. He had done all the talking. And so people, they like to talk about themselves. And that's awesome. So if we can get curious and ask questions and learn about others, they're going to want to be our friends. They're going to, in return, at some point, they're going to ask about us and they're going to learn. And that relationship is going to go both ways. So rewrite your story. Instead of believing it's too hard to make friends or this unit doesn't have friendly people, try on a thought. What if the perfect person is here for me? There's a person here who needs me. I'm great at making friends. Everybody likes me, and tend to like everybody. And then guess what? When somebody doesn't like you, you're like, "Oh, that's weird." So one of our duty stations, after we came back from Korea, when we got stationed in El Paso, and Spencer had gone on his first deployment, I would take our 6 children to church, and I had 2 babies under 2, and one of them was always needing to be taken out for this or that. I needed to go nurse a baby, or my 2-year-old was throwing a temper tantrum. I just felt like I was in and out of our sacrament meeting the whole time. But I wanted to get back in there because I had 4 other little kids sitting there. My oldest was probably 11, 12 at the time. So they could sit by themselves, but I really felt like I needed to be there. And there was this little old lady who would always make comments. If you would just stay out, they would start to behave. And I felt so judged and frustrated by her and frustrated. And I thought, why is she telling me this? I am trying so hard to be a good mom here. And I decided, I was like, you know what? I need to learn more about her. Where is she coming from? What is this? And so I talked to our Relief Society president. That's kind of like the SFRG leader if you're Army. And I was like, what can I do to serve this woman? Because I need to get to know her better. I can't deal with all these comments that she's making. And so I became what is called her visiting teacher. And that's kind of like the key caller. I looked in on her. I helped her out if she needed things. And I went and I visited with her. And we slowly became friends because I became curious about her. And one day I don't know how it came up, but it came up and she goes, when I'm telling you to go out to just stay out with your kids, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings. I've worked for 50 years working with children. And when you're going in and out, you're showing them your 2-year-old that she's kind of the boss. And she's like, if you just stayed out just a little bit longer, you wouldn't have to go out so much. And I'm just trying to help you out because I know that you want to be in there with your other kids. And so here I had been thinking that she was judging me and thinking that I wasn't a good mom. And that wasn't it at all. She just thought she was giving me advice, was helping me out. But it was all in my thinking. But as I decided that I didn't like the way I felt when I felt these negative feelings toward her, I didn't like feeling that level of frustration and the self-judgment that I was putting on myself, that I wasn't a good enough mom. And as I got to know her and we became friends, how clear it was that she wasn't judging me. She thought I was doing a great job and she knew how much I wanted to be back in there with my other children. And in her mind, in her experience of working with children and raising children over the years, if I stayed out just a little bit longer, then I wouldn't have to go out so much. And who knows if that was true or not. But because I didn't let my thoughts about her stop me from getting to know her and to love her, I was able to build this great friendship. And I'm still friends with her 8 years later. We write letters and every once in a while I'll text her and call and check up on her. And she became an important part of my life and that of my kids. She became a second grandma to us. And what a blessing she was, because I was willing to look for something to love about her instead of sitting in my own self-pity and allowing my thoughts about her to stop us from being friends. So maybe another thought I really like is, if I don't like somebody, maybe I just haven't found something to like about them yet. And I need to get to know them better. Because I have found for most people, there is something that I can like and admire about them. And I just have to look for it. So try that. Look for the good in others. What is something that you can like about somebody who's totally different than you? We're getting towards the end of our military career. We're at 18 years. And I work with a lot of you who are on your first couple of years. This is your first duty stations. And I love to look at, what do these new spouses got? What do these moms who have all these little kids, as my youngest is 9, almost 10, what do they got to offer? And I can always find something, some new perspective. So look for others, rewrite that story. Find the things that you have in common or the things that you can admire about them. And remember, if somebody doesn't like you, it means nothing about you. And it says everything about them. And I also want to point out, some days I don't like myself. Some days I am not showing up as the person I want to be. And I just really don't like myself and I need to go and reset. So if I don't like myself every day, how can I expect others to like me every day? All right, step number 2. So step 1 was rewrite your story. If you believe you can't make friends, what if you believed you could? If you think these people aren't your people, what if you believe somebody there was meant for you? They're waiting for you to be their friend. All right, step 2 is to kind of focus on yourself. What is it that you want from a friend and how can you give that to yourself? Right? So If you want a friend who listens and who can understand, maybe you need to work on understanding yourself a little bit better. What is it that you're looking for in a friend? And are you giving that to yourself? Are you doing the things you need to take care of yourself? Are you getting adequate sleep? Are you drinking your water? Are you moving your body? If those are the things that you want to do, are you giving yourself grace when you yell at your kids and you don't want to, or you're late for work, or that spouse called and complained and you got annoyed with it? Are you like, honey, what's going on? Are you taking care of you? So step 2 and step 3 really go together is, kind of focus on you. What is it that you need? But also take care of you so you don't need others to take care of you, right? So if you got the spouse who's calling and complaining, this last deployment, when my husband came home late, we kind of had 2 scenarios. One of the FRG people was like, you're a key caller, you have to suck it up. You can't be mad that your husband was told that he gets to come home and he's going to quarantine. You just have to suck it up and deal with it and tell all the other spouses to do that. And that just didn't sit right with me because I wouldn't want to show up that way for myself. I want to show myself love. And then I had another FRG leader that I talked to, and she's like, I get it. Oh my goodness, you guys must be so frustrated that 30 minutes before landing from an 11-month deployment, you find out that instead of your husband getting to come home, he has to quarantine on post for 2 weeks and you can't hug him. Yeah, I bet that is so frustrating. And she validated that. And I thought about it. What am I doing with myself? Am I telling myself I should just suck it up and be okay? Or am I allowing myself to be sad? Think about when your spouse leaves for a deployment. It's okay to be sad. Allow yourself the space to be sad. Allow your friends to be sad when their spouse leaves. I have a friend and we always go to she took me to the movies, and it ended up being, she's like, let's go do something. Your spouse is leaving. Let's go have a girls' night. The first week he's gone, and just hang out and have fun. And how much I love that and needed that. But do I allow that for myself? Do I do that for others? Be the friend that you want to be. If you want others to do nice things for you, do nice things for them. So step 2, take care of you. Focus on you. Step 2 and 3. Right. And so now more into step 3, take care of you so you don't need others to take care of you. So this one's really important. If you're looking for your validation in what others think of you, you're always going to be trying to people please, right? So if somebody says, Maria, oh my goodness, your coaching was so amazing and it helped me so much. And I'm like, yep, I'm this great coach. I did these great things. But what about somebody else who maybe it just didn't resonate the same way? And they're like, I just don't get it. You're not any good. And I'm like, oh, you're right. I'm not any good. But what if I just believed I was doing the very best, right? So I get that gratification from me. What if I have a day where I really connect with my teenagers and I get told, Mom, you're the best mom ever by one of my teenage boys. And I'm like, yes, that's it. And then I have another day where they're like, you're the worst mom ever. And I believed that was true. I am. Or my personal favorite, I just believe I'm an okay mom. Some days I'm really great, and some days I'm not so great. And some days I show up the way I want, and sometimes I get upset and I yell, and I'm working on it, and I'm okay. I'm an okay mom. I'm doing the best I can. I'm an okay friend. Sometimes I show up really great for my friends, and sometimes I don't. Right now, I was embroidering a blanket for a friend, and I put the embroidery in the wrong spot, and we have to take her blanket away. And in that moment, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I am such a crappy friend. I ruined her blanket. It's not ruined. It's going to take some work. We have to take it apart and put it back together. And I know this, but my brain wants to go, you are such a horrible friend. I can't believe you put the embroidery in the wrong spot, that you twisted it and you did it wrong. And now we have to take her blanket apart and put it back together. And you created so much more work. But guys, you know what? That end result when that blanket and with the embroidery is all in the right spot, because it's going to be amazing. And what if I just believed I'm an okay friend? Sometimes I make mistakes and I have friends who can forgive me and we can fix it and we can move on. And I can say, oh my gosh, I'm so, so sorry. And she could say, it's okay. And she might say, it's okay. And think, I can't believe Maria did that. I have more work now. And we took it apart together and we got it, started putting it back together. And it's just going to be more work. And that kind of sucks, but it's okay. But you got to get your validation from yourself. You can't do it off of what everybody else is thinking, because then you're always going to be looking to change yourself to fit what that person wants. You're always going to want to people please them. And that's not really going to make you happy in the long run. It's not going to help you be the military spouse or the mom or the friend that you want to be. So take care of you. Validate yourself. Ask yourself, honey, what's going on when things don't go exactly the way you think they should? Be willing to question all of it. Now, I know when we move and we're thinking these thoughts like, nobody wants to be my friend, or this is too hard, or they don't like me, or they think this about me. I have a little exercise for you to try. So write everyone at, so is it the FRG meeting? Is it everyone in the neighborhood, in the walking group, at the gym? So write everyone at wherever the place is, blank, thinks that I am blank, thinks I talk too much, thinks I'm too loud, thinks I'm mean, thinks I'm not skinny enough, whatever it is that you think these people are thinking about you. Everyone ignores me, or everyone talks about me. Just fill in these blanks, right? So write everyone at blank thinks that I am blank. Everyone blanks about me. Now, take a few minutes, write it down. What do you come up with? So, for me, it's really easy. I kind of am loud and I'm opinionated. So I might think with a new group. Everyone at the gym thinks that I am too loud. They think I come on too strong. They think I'm kind of bossy. Maybe it's my family thinks I'm kind of bossy. They do. Some of them do. Maybe not. Maybe I think I'm bossy, right? It's okay. But what does everyone think about blank that I'm blank at? Now, once you did that, let's get really specific. Who is everyone? Give me some names. Get really specific. Who is they? What if you're new and you don't know their names? Describe them. What do they look like? And then ask yourself, when you really get true about it and you think of who is everyone, who is they, usually it's one or two, maybe three people out of the whole group. It's really not a lot. And then ask yourself, is this true about that person? Does that person really think this about me? And you might just surprise yourself. The answer might be yes, it might be no. But when you find out that they is only a couple of people and you slow it down and you really question it and you look at it, then you get to choose, how do you want to show up, right? Maybe there's your person in there and you're just not even fighting it because you've grouped everybody into the they, into those people. Those people think I'm too loud. Those people don't like me. Well, who are those people? And then you get to find out that really it's not that many people. And then you can go about finding your person. You can be like, oh yeah, okay. And like I said earlier, look for something that you like about those people. What can you admire about them? Because that will help you to show up in the way you want. And remember, you might not be for everyone, just like everyone is not for you, and that's okay. You can find things to admire about people who aren't going to be the people you hang out with all the time, who's not going to become your next best friend, but you can still be like, Sally over there, she is amazing at baking cookies. She is great at doing her hair. I really admire people who are super good at doing their hair because that's just not something I have put a lot of time and effort into, being able to like do updos and different curling irons. Like I've gotten better. It's something that I've worked on and just whatever those things are. What can you find to admire, to like about them? You get to choose to like and love everybody. That's your choice. Do you want to like them? Do you want to love them? It's up to you. And observe them. Find what you can like. What do you love about them? I love to sit back and watch people. I love, one of my favorite things though is young moms with toddlers in stores. I love to tell them they're doing a great job. Like, oh, you're doing amazing. Even if their child's crying and throwing a fit, I'm like, I know. Sometimes going to the grocery store with toddlers is so hard and they throw a fit. But you, mama, you are doing amazing. So, friendship. How can you make friends? Well, rewrite your story. Tell yourself that the perfect person is out there waiting for you, and then go and look for them. Tell yourself that you can make friends, that at every duty station, you're there for a reason, and there is somebody you're meant to be friends with. Because as military wives, we got to stick together. We got to help each other out. We got to help out those in the community. Did you know they're always being left? Think about when your friend moves away and how hard it is. Those people who are local, who don't move all the time like us, they are always being left. They're always making friends and having to say goodbye. Maybe one of those people is your people. Maybe they need a new friend. Open up to all of it. Be willing to rewrite your story that where you're at is the perfect place. It's the place that you're meant to be and that your perfect friend is waiting for you. Focus on you. What is it that you need? What kind of friend do you want to be? And then go and be that friend to yourself and to others. Step 3, take care of you so you don't need others to take care of you. I can't emphasize how important that is, to take care of you, to get your validation from yourself. And if you're struggling with that, message me. Let's chat. I can totally help you with that. If you're having a bad day, ask yourself, honey, what's going on? And really take the time to listen. If you ask yourself a question, answer it. Why did you yell at your kids today? Oh, I'm feeling frustrated because, or I'm overwhelmed. And as you learn to do that, and you take care of you, and you find your validation from within yourself, how much better. You're going to have so much confidence, and confidence draws others to you. I know you guys can do this. I know that wherever you're at, that there is somebody who needs you to be their friend. And I know that you're going to be that perfect friend for them, but you have to get out there and you got to find them. You can't sit back and wait for them to come because they may or may not. But when you're looking for them, I can guarantee you, you're going to find them because you're thinking thoughts about them. You're thinking, I wonder who is that friend going to be? And when you're thinking, there's someone waiting for me, and you're excited to meet them, then your actions, you're going to go out and you're going to meet people. You're going to show up as your most authentic self. And the result is you're going to find that person who needs you to be your friend, to be their friend. You're going to find the friend that you need. And it's all because you were changed your story and you're thinking that perfect person is out there. I can find them. It's totally possible. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks so much for listening. If you like this podcast, please like it, share it. If you're watching on YouTube or Venmo, share it. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you guys. As always, have a great week. And next week, I'll show you guys the puppies. We'll lift them up. We got lots of fun colors. And I love you, ladies. You guys are amazing. As military wives, I know life can be challenging at times, but I'm here to help you learn to love it, to love your perfectly imperfect life, to have the confidence when you're going through a deployment that you can do it, because I've done it and I totally know if I can do it, anybody can do it. And with the tools that I teach, it makes it so much easier. I wish I had had these tools years ago, but I have them now and I'll share them with you. So sign up for a free 60-minute session. Let's connect, let's chat, and I'll see you next week. Have a great day. Bye.